right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Cyber Racing Association's K&N West Series. We are live tonight here at Talladega, Alabama Superspeedway for 60 laps of insane speed. As we've seen in the past season, these cars are incredibly fast in the draft. They have a ridiculous closing rate. You can side draft them. As always, the rules go 50% fuel, one quick fix. We do have, as I said, 60 laps, and we do know that the cars average roughly around 20 to 23 laps on a full tank, provided we don't have a caution, as we see the 78 get obliterated right there by the 1. Joining me tonight will be Mike Major, seeing how Alan is definitely, most certainly broken tonight and has not made it here yet. So it'll be very interesting race to call, seeing I actually have somebody more intelligent to talk to tonight.
I wouldn't go that far, Art.
Yeah, I know. Me and you are way too much alike. So right now we have roughly 3 minutes remaining in practice, and then we will advance the session state over to qualifying, and we've got a little surprise now for all future races that will be incorporated into this series, as well as any others that get broadcasted to us. I think there's one determining factor we're seeing tonight right now. I have not seen Rodney Wofford tonight yet so far on the scoreboard. I have seen Junior. We've got Junior, and we've got Holderman, and we've got Derek Walker, but we're missing... oh, there he is. There's Rodney Wofford. I see him there. He managed to make it in. So we've got, I think, all of DHI here tonight. So that'll be good. The one person I do not see is the 98, last week's winner, Jeff Figlin. As we come to the 1 minute warning here, looks like our practice fast lap time is going to be a 47.271, held down by Gregory Thompson. And that, of course, is a draft lap. Session started out fairly slow, and the drivers started to trickle in. They made their way out on track and actually saw some pretty impressive side-by-side racing during qualifying. So I'm expecting to see some really good action tonight here on the track when they dropped a green flag here in roughly 10 minutes or so. So the checkered flag is out. That will end the qualifying, or practice, excuse me, and then we will advance into qualifying. have the 98 of Jeff Higlin on the track. Well, that'll make things interesting. See if he can make it back-to-back wins. So we wait to see the times coming out here. All right, so early start. Right now we have the number 7 of Gary Weaver on pole with a 52.977. Thomas Labar in second and Paul Crumry in third. Only 0.07 of a second separate first and second right now, and 0.2 from first to third, but I'm sure that number will change because we have not seen any of the DHI drivers put a lap on the board yet. And now the 00 of Dwayne Cooper is going to take that one away with a 52.939. And Gary Weaver's going to take it back, and then Greg Thompson's going to say, I'm not going to have any of that. He's going to throw it down, and now we got Junior on the pole, so the top spot is going to be changing, but right now it's Dark Horse with a 52.272. David Anderson in second. That'll move Gregory Thompson back to third. Now we have fellow Dark Horse teammate Derek Walker now with the pole with a 52.269, only 3 thousandths off pace for Junior now. See if he can go out there and make up that. And surprise, surprise, 1, 2, 3 is all Dark Horse as Rodney Wofford takes the third position, only 1/100th slower.
Some amazing times for the top 5 being that separated by that few of time.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to what we've talked to, well, what me and Alan have talked week in and week out about Dark Horse's consistency. We've been accused of being fanboys and having a biased stream and blah, 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 all this other bullshit, but you can't argue with talent when you see it on track. It's not just, okay, well, they're good in a Can-Am car. No, they work great as a team. They always have the right pit strategy. They communicate with each other. They're a good group of drivers. And when you have a group of people like that, you cannot help but focus on them a lot. So if the topic becomes Dark Horse Racing because they're a dominant force, even though they have yet to score a win yet this season, you can't help but sit there and look at it and be like, wow, these guys are really freaking good. Every week they're either on the pole, they're running up in the front, they're making aggressive moves without messing anybody up. It's just, it comes down to you got to show recognition to the people that exert the skills.
I still think you're a fanboy. I saw you racing that Dark Horse paint scheme.
I have no idea what you're talking about. At least it's not Brokeback Broadcasting.
I'm still gonna root for Dingleberry Motorsports.
I love that name. Absolutely love that name. Oh, look at this. Matthew Quick was able to squeak Rodney out of third place. So now 1, 2, and 3 are separated by 8 thousandths of a second. And I do believe the 89 is part of Dingleberry Motorsports.
Yes, he's my pick to win. I'm rooting for him.
Well, he's shown consistency in the past, so I wouldn't doubt it. The only problem is if Dark Horse gets out in front, he's got to find a way to make it around it. But as we've seen, and as any plate track goes, you can never rule out the caution flags because it's not if but when the wreck happens. Looking at things right now, I highly doubt we're going to see anything inside the top 3 change. I don't think anybody really has anything that's going to compete with a 52.2.
Those really are some amazing qualifying laps that they're putting in. And basically, the difference between all of them is like one wiggle of the wheel in the corner.
And it would be a total different scenario, too, if it was lone car qualifying, but it is not. It is or open qualifying. It is lone car qualifying, so that is a very impressive time to run with that car. And to have the top 3 separated by such a small time gap, it literally does come down to a simple wiggle of the wheel.
Top 20 is only separated by two tenths.
That's what we've seen pretty much week in and week out. They've shown that pretty much doesn't really matter where you start, as we see fellow dark horse Kenny Holderman is being shown right now on 27th. It doesn't look like he qualified, but it doesn't really matter where you start on the plate track because you have the draft. The draft is your best friend. It is absolutely amazing here at these plate tracks because you can go from last to first as long as you have the car control, and you can work your way through and make it around blocks and be able to take it to the outside, the inside. Basically just move the car wherever it feels comfortable and you can advance position. As we still wait for qualifying to end here, we still have Derek Walker on pole. Mark Jorgensen Jr. is still second. Matthew Quick still third. As I said, there we go. The session is finally advanced. We will move on to gridding. And we will ask everybody now to please remove your hats and please stand for the national anthem.
Christ
right, that was brought to you courtesy of the U.S. Army Marching Band. Now we will go into the gridding order here. On pole, we have the number 20 of Derek Walker with a 52.269. Starting outside of him will be fellow Dark Horse teammate Mark Jorgensen Jr. Rolling off third will be the 89 of Matthew Quick. Fourth will be the 03 of Rodney Wofford. Gary Champion rolls off fifth. David Anderson sixth. Gregory Thompson will start seventh. Jason Rodebush eighth. David lands in ninth, and Sawyer Out will round out your top 10. Starting in 11th position will be Paul Crummery. Jason Kinzer rolls off 12th. Roger Buff 13th. Stephen Maserly 14th. Jeff Figlin, last week's winner, will roll off 15th here. James Peterson 16th. R.D. Peterson Jr. 17th. Justin Levine 18th. Dwayne Cooper in the 00 19th, and Thomas Labar will round out your top 20. Starting 21st, we have the 7 of Gary Weaver. Raymond Rittenhauer is 22nd. 23rd will be Chris Akers. Kenny Holderman will roll off 24th. Tyler Crandall 25th. Jeremy Funk 26th. And rounding out your field will be the 78 of Talon Crandall. That is your starting order for tonight's race. As the pace car is making its way down the backstretch, we are less than half a lap away from taking the green flag. Mike, what do you think we're going to see early on?
I think it's going to be an exciting race. I mean, looking at the qualifying times, these guys are on it. And from what I've seen in past races, these guys are they're good plate racers. They're real aggressive, and it always makes for fun racing.
I totally agree. I think the first part of the race, we will see a little bit of conservativeness. We'll see two packs. We'll see the guys who want to drop to the back, go to the rear, and we'll see the front breakout pack, which we always do. That way, in case the caution does come out, they're separated and they've got time to react to it or whatever. But then we'll see more concerned racing as the pace car is off. We're waiting for the green flag. Green flag is out. We are racing Talladega with the CRA K&N West Series. Looks like the inside line got a good start, and saw the outside, the 81 got a good bump there on the start.
The 98 car got into the 71 pretty hard there on the start. Looks like he wanted to tell the 71 to get going.
It looked like the outside just didn't get as good of a start as the inside did, because I noticed the 03 car got into the back of the 81 pretty good, which would be teammates there, but I think Junior might have been a little bit hesitant on the start there, seeing how obviously the leader controls the start of the race and controls any restarts, but it just looked like they didn't time it very well, but you wouldn't know that now, as we're seeing the 81 is going to come across the line and lead the first lap.
It's also a big advantage for the 81, knowing that you got your teammate behind you and you got your teammate on the inside of you.
And another teammate not too many cars behind. It's definitely a huge advantage to have. There's another old school paint scheme. I love seeing these things. The old Rusty Wallace Miller Genuine Draft, as well as the old DeWalt paint scheme. I'm seeing the famous Dave's paint scheme, Richard Petty motorsport styled STP. I love all these old ones.
Got to give some props to Jeff Figlin for running the GoDaddy paint job. That takes balls.
I want to Star Mazda race with that, so yeah, it does. Oh, sorry, Pro Mazda. So we see the 30 of Derek Walker. I think he's just dropping back right now. He definitely is one that plays conservative here. He has not had particularly the best luck here at Talladega. He has been destroyed the last time we were here. Of course, the last time it was not exactly the race that everybody wanted it to be. There, it was plagued by cautions and a lot of simple mistakes that shouldn't have been made were made, and it took out a ton of top contending cars. Meanwhile, the focus right now is on the 98 and the 13 right now, as they're on the inside of the 96 Jason Roadbush. So at the line again, it'll be Dale Jr. there with another lap led for Dark Horse. So 6 laps coming to the line right here. Your leader is still the 81 of Dale Earnhardt Jr., as we call him here in CRA. Outside of him is fellow teammate Rodney Wofford in the 03. And behind him would be the 20, I believe. I like how it keeps cycling around, because you don't just always see the challenge for the lead up front. There's a lot of good racing that happens all throughout the pack, and it seems to be focusing a lot on this 13 car of Jason Kinzer. Oh, as we got a wreck going on right now. Caution is out. Go ahead and take a look at that and see what happened. I do believe it was the 08 getting into the 96, but we're going to go ahead and take a look here.
There is a pretty massive donut on the side of that A car.
As they come down the backstretch here, we see the 08 is riding tight to the 43. It looks like the 8 car gets into the wall and just comes downhill and collects the 96. Sends the 96 back up the track as he had the brakes locked down, and that will call the caution. So tough break for the 8 car. I knew it had an 8 in it, but it was not the 08.
Well, Field did a good job there slowing down, though.
Yes, that could have been way worse, especially when the 96 slid back up the track. So great job by the drivers. Heads up driving there, everybody getting it woed down and not making it worse than it was. So that obviously is going to bring everybody down pit road. So we will go to the pit road camera here, and we will watch as the lead pack comes down here and see what they do. My guess is going to be obviously a full tank of fuel and maybe tires, maybe not. Maybe just a full tank of fuel.
30 car's gambling. He's staying out.
That is a Dark Horse. No, 30 is that would be Sawyer Ott. We see a lot of just fuel onlys. I did see some right sides there. Seen a lot of right sides. As you see, the 96 has finally made his way into the pit stall. He's going to use his quick repair. I would hope so. But it does not appear so that he did it, or he might have not had it checked, because his car is still damaged sitting on pit road. As the remainder of the field comes out, we see the 8 and the 96 who were both involved in that caution. Once again, the 8 getting into the wall in turn 3 and then coming down collecting the 96. Not sure why they were, especially in the 96's case, why we would not use the quick repair, especially with the extensive damage to that car. So cycle will lead over to the 30 car of Sawyer Ott. Okay, now that is just confusing because that's normally what I see Derek Walker as is the DeWalt car. So I think we have some paint schemes that have been changed around. All right, just to clarify the paint here, I'm going to look and see what the 20 is running this week.
I'm seeing him in a Puma car right
Yep,
now.
that's exactly what it is.
Recall an initiative.
Well, no, normally he is in that DeWalt ride, which is why I thought that when you said at the 30 car, I thought that Derek had just changed numbers, but I am also seeing the same thing. I'm seeing a Puma car with black numbers on it. So, guess a little change in paint scheme here. So right now your top three will be Sawyer Ott, Matthew Quick, and David Anderson.
I'm currently freaking out looking at the 89 car. If you have not seen that paint art, you should probably check it out.
It's an awesome paint job.
How would you like to push that down the back straight away with a cat looking at you?
Yep, you got a cat staring you right in the eyes. It's definitely as we see it right there in turn 3 as the lights on the pace car are out. We are less than a quarter of a lap away from taking the green flag again here at Talladega. We will restart the race on lap 10. But yeah, I would definitely be creeped out seeing a cat the entire time.
I think with that 89 car, I would need some acid and some Pink Floyd, and I'd have a great night.
Oh, that'd be definitely one of the best races of my life. So the pace car drops down the pit road. Now it is up to, I do believe, the driver on restarts, but I'm not 100% on that. Either way, green flag is back out. We are back underway racing here at Talladega. Lap 10 of 60. As we see the outside line, looks like it got a little bit better formed up than the inside, so we'll see what these front 4 cars can do versus the inside right now.
All right, as we know, the tires are huge here. Do you think the 30 made the right call there, staying out?
With the pit windows that these cars have, I don't really think only having 10 laps on the tires is really going to hurt it too much unless you're putting way too much wheel into it going to the corner. Then you're definitely going to see the car start pushing up in the corners. But most of the time we've had early cautions here, I've rarely seen people take anything other than just right sides. So not necessarily the worst call on a pit stop, but with some cars behind him having fresh tires, whether it be 4 or just 2, it could or could not make a difference. As we see, the 89 is going to drop low in front of the 30, so that'll hand the lead over to the 89 of Matthew Quick.
I think he just wanted to show the 30 car a psychedelic cat.
Oh, that's awesome. That's going to set up the 03 of Rodney Wofford, though. We've seen what he can do when he's out front. He's amazing when he pushes on the high line. Because what you saw, he was looking a little bit low there, trying to make the pass. But now we're going to be 3 wide as they come into the super stretch here. So we got the 03, the 00, and the 87 in the middle there. The 08 and the 98 on the outside. So we are still 3 wide here. This is going to get interesting. So you see the 98 is going to bail out on the 08. Meanwhile, it's still 3 wide, the 1898 and 08. They'll get that sorted out. The 08 will drop in behind the 98, and we'll go back to 2 wide racing. A lot more safer that way. Score another lap led for Matthew Quick, who is freaking the entire field out with his psychedelic Pink Floyd paint job.
Can't stop staring at it.
You see the 9 there, Kenny Holderman with the hype paint scheme going on there. We see the 71. And I remember Alan painted a car like that, the Pennzoil Platinum car. I don't think it was the K&N. Oh, no, it was the K&N car he did up like that.
It was the K&N, yep.
That might be Alan's paint scheme.
Well, Alan's here in spirit then.
Yes, there we go. He may be broken enough to not set an alarm clock to be here for the race, but he's here in spirit with the paint as we are 3 wide up front. Derek Walker and Dale Jr. there on the outside. Oh, Jr. in the wall hard. He's keeping it up there, though. Looks like the 00 might have got a piece of the wall, too, there.
Oh, we got a wreck. We got a spinner.
So far, no caution yet.
I believe he spun to the inside.
That will not trip a caution here, so that's an unfortunate break for Jorgensen Jr. as he did do an amazing job keeping that car in the wall once he made contact with it. I did see the 00 looked like he got a little contact with the wall as well, but unfortunately for the car that spun to the inside, there will not be a caution for that, so that will severely affect whoever was involved's race tonight. Meanwhile, the outside lane, the 89 is going to be looking to take that lead back again as he's being pushed by the 43, or the 36.
Wayne Cooper's down pit road.
Yeah, he was part of that incident with Junior there. You see heavy damage there on the 96. It looks like he's back out on track without taking his fast repair. You see the 81's back out. He's used his fast repair as well as the 00, so they're going to get lapped again by the field. As your leader right now is the 43 of David Anderson, but Rodney Wofford is challenging on the outside.
Looks like out of that backpack of the guys involved in that, they're going to group up. There should be 4 cars together back there. They should be all right.
We've seen it happen many times. As long as 4 cars can get together nose to tail and stay that way, they seem to do pretty good, especially if another car gets picked out of the draft or if he makes slight contact with the wall or whatever. It makes it so much easier once the field gets spread to be able to make the time back. But right now with this big main pack being all together, they pretty much have to rely on each other right now to keep the speeds up as high as possible to avoid getting lapped again, unless the yellow would come out. So coming to the line, it looks like the 03 of Rodney Wofford is going to lead this one. But Derek Walker's right there on his outside, so it's going to be a stalemate up the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to show Derek Walker leading that one. We see such dominance out of Dark Horse, but they are 0 for 3 this season. And with Junior taken out of the equation tonight so far, that's going to hurt things too for the Dark Horse stable. But we do still have Rodney Wofford and Derek Walker running right now in P1 and P2. see the field barrel out of turn 2 onto the backstretch. Now I'm seeing Dwayne Cooper and Dale Jr. 1 lap down, and then we have the 96 of Jason Rodebush, who's 3 laps down. So it's a dark horse drag race again to the start-finish line and see who's going to get this lap, and it's going to be Derek Walker again. As they are 3 wide once again here at Talladega. As they're coming up on a lap car. That would be the 8 car. He was involved in the first incident with the 96. Now, league rules for lap cars is they are to stay in the high line until 10 to go. Then they are to drop below the yellow line until the field is passed.
That's a great rule.
Yes, it is. Because we've seen, as they are almost 4 wide at the line there, we've seen many times lap cars being a big factor in how races turned out, where it would have made a difference between somebody who was faster winning the race being blocked by a slower lap car. As we see the 9 of Kenny Holderman, he's managed to work his way up there. That's another fellow dark horse driver. So we see that 3rd line, they're making a run right now.
But they got a lap car coming up.
Yes, this is going to make things interesting as they're 3 wide in turns 3 and 4 right now, as the 96 barely squeaks through there. Good job by the 96 keeping it up there. Oh, we got contact. Big wreck. And they're still wrecking. I believe the initial contact there started with a 98, so we will go ahead and get you guys the replay on that.
It looked like that started as net code.
Yeah, we've seen that plague the series. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened here. You see the 98 is just tucked in behind the 03 right here. Everything looks good as they go by the 96. It looks like he just drives up the hill a little bit. We saw him backfire, so it might have got a little bit tight, but he collected the 28, collected the 89. Good job by the 96 being able to avoid it. Several other cars taken out in that one, so that's going to be our 2nd caution here.
I love the iRacing physics on how the 71 car jumped over top of the 98.
Yeah, you've got to love. Well, we've adopted the slogan: if there's anything that's messed up or wrong, it's iRacing. So that will hand your lead over to the 03 Rodney Wofford. As they come down pit road, let's see what our leaders decide to do, if they decide to take tires this time or not. So we can see the 98 sitting on pit road. I know he's got a quick repair, but I don't see him using it. So 03, your leader, is in there. First car in the box, we see right sides are going up. And he's down and away, but we're going to have the 71 of Roger Buff beat him off the pit road. Looks like Chris Akers is going to do it. Well, actually it's showing Derek Walker now in 2nd and Chris Akers in 3rd. So that 2 tires might have been a little bit of a hurt right now, but IRTVO has to shuffle things around. It will rescore everybody once they go through the timing loops. As we see your leader right there.
I'm watching Derek, and it looks like he's dropped in the back. He may have got a black flag there.
Speeding in pits. All right, well, we are under caution we will take a brief commercial break, and then we will be back at it for more action here. All right, we are back. We are still under caution here. We should be taking 1 to green this time by, though, with 37 laps remaining here at Talladega Superspeedway. Your leader is the 71 of Roger Buff. Rodney Wofford in the 03 is your second place car, and David Anderson in the 43 is your third place car. We saw the 28, I believe, get a speeding penalty, so he had to drop to the end of the line, as we see the 98 of Jeff Figlin get a wave by there, so that'll help his situation out some. As we see the 7 car of Gary Weaver's managed to make his way up into the top 5 for now. Good job by the 7 there.
That's absolutely deadly.
In front of him will be the famous Dave's paint scheme. It took me forever because I kept thinking it said Farmer or something all throughout practice until I finally got a good shot of the quarter panel. It's hard to see because the way the yellow comes up on the side of the car, it's really hard to see the text on it, but I was actually able to see that it was Famous Dave's finally after about 15 minutes of almost going insane. It's not as cool as the psychedelic Pink Floyd car, Matthew Quick. As we see Roger Buff duck down pit road, he's going to go ahead and fuel it up, as we see the 30 of Sawyer Art's going to do the same thing as well. That'll hand your lead back over to the 03 of Rodney Wofford, which will move Gary Weaver up to third place, David Anderson up to second.
I got to give Gary a shout out for that EA Sports NASCAR Thunder 2004 on his hood.
Most definitely. All right, so the lights are out on the pace car. We are less than a lap away from taking the green flag once again here at Talladega. We will restart with 35 laps remaining. There have only been 2 cautions so far. There have been 3 incidences, but 1 did not trip the caution, so that's kind of hurt some people and put the advantage to other people. Be interesting to see how the 81 does, because I know he got hard contact into the wall. He was scored down a lap as well as Dwayne Cooper, so they should be able to get back up, though.
They got their wave arounds.
So they are back on the lead lap. Look for both of those cars to be making their way back towards the front, as well as the 20 of Derek Walker, because he got an end-of-the-line penalty for speeding on pit road. So you've got 2 dark horse drivers and the 00 who loves taking it 3 wide, and I've seen him run pretty much any line you could think of here and make it work, but I don't want to pull an Allen and jinx anybody on it like it seems to be. As the pace car makes its way out of turn 4, it will abruptly turn left on the pit road because Brett Bodine forgot his glasses this week, so hence the awkward turn it's going to make here right about meow.
I thought he's drunk.
Nah, drunk, glasses, same thing, it's iRacing. So the 03 is going to lead us to the line. Green flag is out, we're back racing. 35 laps remaining here at Talladega with the CRA K&N West Series. See the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer there. And the 7 of Gary Weaver. He's going to try and get up there and give the 03 a shot. Now the 58, we see him laying back just a little bit off of the 43. That's hurting the outside line right now, as 2 cars on the inside right now are able to do it better than the outside. As we see the 87 duck down to the low line, he's going to go ahead and join us. We see the 58 is going to dive out to the outside lane. He might be dropping back towards the rear or trying to form up with any teammates or find a dancing partner, as we call it here on plate tracks. As we see the 7 get pushed all the way to the 3rd lane, he's going to get shuffled out of the order here. So now it's a battle between the 33 of David Lanza and the 03 of Rodney Wofford right now. As we see the 07 in the wall, Dwayne Cooper just manages to make it around it. Good job by Gary keeping it up in the wall there and not getting any other cars involved in that one.
I think Dwayne needs a change of pants now.
I think so too. Oh, we see the car. Is that he cut a piece of the wall right there? The Jimmy John's car. A little bit of right side damage on him.
I kind of expected to see some guys laying back that use their fast repairs, but these guys are driving even harder now.
Well, that's actually a good thing, because normally we would see a lot of them still laying back and waiting for about 5 to go before they made their moves. But it's absolutely awesome to see this hard of racing with still 32 laps remaining here. This is the kind of racing I love seeing at a plate track. They're keeping it clean. The ones that do make contact with the wall aren't jerking the wheel violently to the left and taking out other cars. So this is a little sketchy as far as the cars moving around, but it's awesome to see that they can all maintain control while doing it.
I was just checking in on a live chat and our broadcast here, and the Crandalls have some fans. They're getting cheered on here.
It's always good to see people rooting on their favorite drivers. Normally Alan is the moderator for the chat, seeing I have about 14 different things that I'm doing at any given time. I try to do my best to manage, which is why it's always at least a 2-man team here on DieHard Live TV.
Isn't it 1.5 with Alan?
Technically, yeah. And oh, speak of the devil, look who's finally here halfway through the race. And you're broken because I can't hear you.
All right, is that better?
Hey, Mr. Alan, I'm Broken Jones here.
I'm sorry, I had a situation. I am here, and I'm running late.
Well, you missed a couple good wrecks.
He must have set his alarm clock for 10 of 9.
Oh, we got another wreck going on. Caution is out. Oh, and they're still wrecking violently into the wall.
What's your car doing, bud?
And we see the 3 of Tyler Crandall there. Looks like he got a lot of the action there. We're going to see what happened from his point of view.
It looks like it was the 1 and the 89 getting involved in that.
Now let's see what happens as we ride from the 3's point of view here. Oh, wow. They get up in the wall. The 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., and then the 3 just makes hard contact with his fellow brother. Oh, that's bad. Talon and Tyler both involved in that, so both Crandalls affected in that wreck. As we see the 78's able to get going again. I don't know if the 3 has a motor. No, so that's unfortunate there for the Crandalls. I know we had fans cheering them on, but both of them were involved in that big wreck there. It looked like the one of Artie Peterson Jr. just didn't even hold the brake down.
I think that accident was net code because the 89 and the 1 were pretty close, but all of a sudden the 1 just hooked straight to the wall.
We've been seeing that get worse and worse and worse as the race has gone on. I mean, hell, wasn't it one of the DieHard races that we had? There was a full car, and all of a sudden, boom, there was netcode. I mean, you could clearly fit another car in there. So everybody's going to take it down pit road here. See what everybody does here. I know some are staying out to get some laps back. See the 20 in, the 03 is going to take 4. I don't know, it looks like he just took right sides as he slides it out of pit road. He's going to beat Sawyer out. 28 is taking all 4. We see the 81, he's out. 28 looks like he might be getting some damage repaired. He's still on pit roads. We see the 89 of Matthew Quick making it back out on track with a motor that looks like it's all but dead. So interesting to see that there. The 89 of Matthew Quick leaving pit road on fire still. Meanwhile, that will hand your lead over to the 43 of David Anderson. Gregory Thompson is your second place car, and the 98 last week's winner, Jeff Iglin, is sitting in P3 right now. All right, Alan, since you're here, take a good look at the 71 car, Roger Buff. Is that your paint scheme?
Yeah, sure, it looks like it. Give me a second.
As I do remember you did do a platinum paint scheme for the K&N. It's just, there's a couple things on this car that look a little bit different than I might remember yours being, but of course it was a while ago. Hell, it's been over a year since you did that paint scheme, so it might be a different one. Let's take a look and see. Let's see. Is Tyler out? Where is he on track? Right now, looks like the 3 of Tyler Crandall has, no, he's on pit road right now. He is taking his service. He's got a brand new car, and looks like once the drop of the jack, he's going to take. Looks like Iracing glitched there because it showed his right sides go up first, then his left sides. But Jack is down, he's off and away, so the 3 is back out on track. And let's check on the 78 of Talon. He is on track as well, so both brothers back out racing. Good to see both of them back out there after both being involved in that latest caution.
That is not my paint job, Art. That is somebody else did a very good job with that.
That's what I thought. There was a few things on there that kind of looked a little bit different, but it's still pretty similar. It was similar enough that we thought it was yours.
One dead giveaway would be the driver name up over the roof. I would have had my name in there, not Kevin Harvick's.
Yeah, well, I can't see that far because I'm on a different set of cameras, so yeah. I don't ever remember Kevin Harvick running that paint scheme. Then again, there's a lot of things I don't remember. So they're going to stack them back up as the lights are out on the pace car. We will have less than a lap before we restart this race with 25 laps to go. So it seems last time we restarted with 35 to go. So hopefully we don't see a 10-lap caution sequence as we see last wave bys going around. The 3, the 1, they were part of the last wave bys. Now, I do believe that wave bys stop with 10 to go as well if the caution does come out. So your top 5. And now, of course, RTVO is going to shift things on me, but I know it is David Anderson is your leader, Gregory Thompson second, Roger Buff third, Jeff Figlin fourth, or no? Yeah, fourth. Which is weird because it's got everything all jacked up. It's showing Matthew Quick as the leader.
Jeff's in third and Roger Buff.
Yeah, that's the correct order there. So David Anderson, your leader. Gregory Thompson second, Jeff Figlin fourth, Roger Buff fourth. Ugh. I swear that last hit on the wall was so hard I felt it, and I think it might have knocked a wire or two loose in my brain. All right, so Jeff Bodine. Yep. Jeff Bodine drives the drunken pace car back off down the pit road again. We wait for the green flag to come out. Green flag is out. We are back underway here at Talladega. 25 laps to go. We see bold move there in the back of the pack, but we're going to see a pass back coming shortly as he dives to the bottom. So that brings in the question, are they done playing bumper cars, or are we going to see more?
Absolutely not.
This is Talladega. They're going to run it as hard as they can, as long as they can, and they're going to wreck them.
Well, right now we've got last week's winner, the 98 of Jeff Figlin, who's pushing the living daylights out of the 43 of David Anderson. But we've got the 08 and the 03 on the outside, the 71 and the 51, I believe. 54. Oh, that Jeff goes around. And since he spun to the inside, that will not, that will trip a caution. All right, we'll go back and take a look at that one. Even though we saw it happen live, we'll get a point of view on that one.
That was a product of blocking.
All right, we're watching it now. We see him coming around. Everything looks good for now. He's riding, he cuts down low. Up, and the 43 just comes down. Sends the 98 for a ride.
Looks like the 40, yeah, it looks like the 3 got into the 43 a little bit there and give him a little shuffle.
Now, I don't want to be an asshole for calling this, but it looked like the 98 intentionally let the car go back up on the track just to trip the caution. I mean, if my car was going backwards, the first thing I would be doing is locking the brakes down, but he let it free roll back up onto the track before I even saw the brakes lock up. So that will bring out our 4th caution now. So it's definitely proven to be cautions breed cautions, as we've seen time and time again at plate tracks. I fully expect to see all our lead pack cars come down and pack it completely full of fuel, because from this point on, they will be able to make it all the way to the end without having to stop again, unless we have yet another yellow flag here, which I would love to see him run it out green to the end, but this is Talladega, so anything's possible. We got a pit road camera here. All right, the 03's in his box, the 81's in his box. See the right sides go up on the 03. The 81's going to take fuel only, right sides and fuel for the 03. 87's out, the 03's out, the 54's out, the 43, the 08, the 30, the 96, the 8. Looks like the 20 is going to get some more damage repaired, I guess. Because he got 4 tires and fuel, so that's going to do it for our pit cycle there. So let's see where that stacks everybody up at. As of right now, that will cycle your lead back to the 71 of Roger Buff, Jason Kinzer, who we haven't seen much of up towards the front really all night, but now he's sitting pretty right now in second place in that awesome Rusty Wallace Miller Genuine Draft paint scheme there. I always say I love seeing these old school throwback paint schemes. And surprise, surprise, look who's back in third, Gary Weaver. Alan, why don't you grab our in-race reporter guy?
I can do that.
Let's hope Jason Kinzer doesn't end up like Rusty Wallace did and flip down the back straightaway 15 times.
You know, I actually have that trading card. The holographic one, too. Same thing with Davey Allison when he did it. As we see, our new leader is now, in fact, our in-race reporter, Gary Weaver, right now. As we see wave by going around, that would be the 78 of Talon Crandall.
Hey, Gary, this is Alan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
You're sitting pretty right now. The only thing I see in front of you is the pace car.
Yeah. I don't know. The 18 pit, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm dead.
Nah, I wouldn't say dead yet. Just guard that bottom line and watch out for the side drafting. You should be all right. I mean, you're out front. I mean, you could always daze the thunder and go hit the pace car.
Yeah, the last time I was up front, which was earlier, I kind of screwed myself out of the, well, A, getting a lap lead, which I finally accomplished, and B, getting $5 for going incident free, so that didn't really end well, but hey, I'm somehow back up here, so yay.
Well, hopefully you can hold it down. I know the 18, I did believe, take 2 tires and fuel, but the question is, do you have enough fuel to make it to the end?
I'm saving right now. I've been saving ever since the start of the race, so.
Well, there's one car in particular that I see that you're going to really want to watch out for, and that's the 81, who's going to go down pit road, but I would expect to see a dark horse coming up through the field pretty quick, and that'll put Raymond Rittenhauer behind you. We know he's fast, so there's a lot of stiff competition. We'll take it with probably, I think, 19 laps to go if the lights go out this time by right here, which they did, so we'll have 19 laps left. Hopefully you've got enough race car left there to bring it home in victory lane.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm hoping for. But hey, on the bright side, I got some lap sled, so instead of getting incident-free bonus points, I got lap lead bonus points.
Well,
so I'll take it.
Points are points right there, and
Yep.
I'd rather take the lap sled because that actually looks better in the standings to show that you led some laps.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, tighten them seatbelts down, and as soon as that pace car drops, I want to see that go pedal get stuck to the floor.
Yep.
All right, Gary, we hope to see you there at the end. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Yeah, and just before that caution came out, Art, they were headed 3 wide, 2 deep going into the corner there. I was kind of hoping the caution didn't come out to see how that was going to play out.
Well, we saw 3 wide racing early on in the race, and it actually worked out very well. It'll be interesting to see how this restart goes because Gary Weaver does have Raymond Rittenhauer right behind him, and we all know Raymond is really good on the restarts. So this should make for a very interesting restart of the race. The pace car is down pit road once again. We are waiting for the green to drop. Green flag is out. We are back underway. 19 laps to go here at Talladega. Let's see if Gary has anything for these guys.
Raymond is on his bumper.
As I fully expected. As they barrel out of turn 2. Right now, the inside line has the advantage.
Yeah, but this is one of those tracks there that if they can get it together on the outside, they can really gain some ground.
Oh, it's not a matter of if, but when the second line gathers it up. As we see right now, the 33 and the 18, they're starting to get right up door to door as they come out of 4 right here. Let's see if Gary can hang on to the lead for another lap here, which I don't think is going to happen because we see the 18. He's already got him by a full car, so that outside line is already in full effect. And now
we've even seen the third line working here too.
Oh yeah, we saw 2 cars outrunning 6 cars that were running in tandem. So that third line, if you can get the right drivers up in there, anything is possible. We did see it earlier in the race, 2 cars taking the lead from the third line. As the 33 gives the 18 a shot, gets him a little sideways, but good job on the 18 by holding on to that. That could have been disastrous right there. As the 81 there, oh, we got another wreck again. There goes the 08.
Another wreck. Ooh.
Hard to the inside wall. That will not trip a caution, I do not believe, since they did stay below the racing surface. We are still green flag with 17 laps to go. That'll put Gary Weaver back out front, but Raymond Rittenhauer is right on his tail, along with Chris Akers in the 54 Jimmy John's ride.
That was the 8 and the 33. Both Budweiser cars are hard into the inside wall.
Well, I guess they had to argue over who had the bigger beer can. As we see, the 7 of Gary got shuffled out. Raymond Rittenhauer is going to go as they're 3 wide, coming through 3 and 4 right now. See the 98 of Jeff Figlin all over the back end of the 7. That's stacking up the inside, middle lane. As we see him trying to get back down. The 7's going to manage to clear the 71. You see the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., he's managed to get back up in there too. But look who's on the outside lane right now. We've got the 81 of Dale Jr. there. Surprise, surprise. He was hard into the wall on the backstretch early on, and we thought he would be done for, but look at this. And I know I've been jinxing the hell out of these guys because I just dark horse this, dark horse that, and they're 0 for 3 right now. But I don't know. Could this be the race?
You know, I showed up a little late, but that's like the second wreck I've seen that the 43 has been involved in. almost just seems like he's putting his car where it shouldn't be.
Well, I've noticed a lot of small things that, as a driver, that I personally definitely, well, I don't have to say personally, I definitely would not do in the situations that happened, especially not locking down brakes when my car is out of control, which we've seen a few cars do that, which that's kind of like the cardinal sin of racing. If your car is backwards or sideways, you don't want to stay in the gas or just slack throttle. You want to have those brakes locked down and make sure that you can get your car out of the way, not move it into a spot where you can come up and take somebody else out or damage your car even worse. But right now it is...
The 03 and the 9 go 3 wide on the outside. We had a group of cars there, 6 of them, 3 wide, 2 deep.
Right now we got the 4 car. He is pushing the living crap out of Junior right now. And we've got the 54 pushing the living daylights out of Rittenhauer. So the front 4 right now are absolutely doing an amazing job.
Yeah, just behind them there, 3 wide. As the outside line starts fading and dropping back.
You see some hellacious side drafting going on there by the 81. You almost couldn't stick a piece of wood in between those 2 cars. Meanwhile, back here we see the 3 wide action going on in the back of the field here.
That's Jeff Figlin trying to come up through.
See the 9 of Kenny Hold'em in there on the inside line. Well, with 12 laps remaining, I think friends are going to be hard to come by now.
Yeah, friends go out the window at this point in the race. It's, you know, you find a drafting partner where you got one and try to get to the front. If you're in the front, you try to stay there.
Well, meanwhile, the side-by-side front 4 has allowed the 03 of Rodney Wofford to sneak up there on the inside line, so make that 2 dark horse cars in the top 5. Rodney makes a power move diving to the inside there. Now we're going to see things get interesting. We got the 87, the 54, and the 03 on the inside, the 4 and the 81 on the outside. Meanwhile, we've got the 5, the 7, and the 1 all working together here. The 43, we can see he's got a pretty good door donut going on there.
I'm surprised that's all he has.
You see the 20 of Derek Walker, he's staying high. So right now it's basically coming down to a drag race to the stripe every lap. I've been watching them. They're pretty much side by side every single lap. I mean, we know that the inside line has the advantage going into the corner, but the outside line always gets that run off of the corner. And we see that more evident in turn 4 than we do in turns 1 and 2. Although we have seen some pretty impressive runs out of turn 2 by the outside line, even when they were 3 wide. And speaking of 3 wide, we have it right now. See Jason Kinzer split in the middle right now.
Poor Gary, he called it. He said he was going to end up in trouble there. He's dropping way back.
And we see the 81 has dropped to the inside, so that's going to open the door for the 4 of Justin Levine to challenge for the lead now, but we do have it stacked up where it's now reversed opposites. We've got Raymond Rittenhauer pushing Jorgensen Jr. there, and then we've got, oh, they got a little bit of a bobble going on there, but it seems like the inside line's having to check up a little bit in the back. The outside line, more cars, not really needed, but we've seen them do it with 2 or 3 cars, but obviously the more cars you have working in tandem and mainly damage-free, the better and the faster you're going to be. As we see, it looks like the outside line is going to be the line that's going to start being the trend here as we have 7 laps to go at the line. We see right now, you'll see that outside line. They'll just get the run coming through the tri-oval here, which will most certainly let the 4 lead another lap. So that'll be another lap led for Justin Levine. It's so weird to see Wofford on the outside and Junior on the inside. Why they didn't somehow switch it around and get to work with each other, but my guess is the 3 is going to try and push the 4 out there and then slack off and let the 81 up, or vice versa. Something's going to happen.
Oh, Jeff Figlin's off sideways.
That's definitely going to make it interesting here. Oh, as we see multiple cars involved. So we will go to the replay on that and see what happened here.
Oh, whoever's in that gray car got him pretty good.
That would be Jason Roadbush. See a strong bump draft there going down the backstretch. Everything's looking fine for now. We see a checkup on the outside line, and we just see the 96 get in the back of the 98 and tag him. And then he gets slammed by the 13 of Jason Kinzer, and oh, wow, yeah. It just, yeah, that was unfortunate. That happened right in the racing line.
Slams him hard.
Yeah.
The 96 just caught him in the wrong spot there.
Yep, that's example of bump draft gone bad. As we've seen, you cannot push those cars in certain places, and that right there is one of the places you cannot push the car. We know that the back of the cars are amazing, but what these drivers surely know by now is that these cars are a freaking doorstop on the front. You can basically, if you hit dead center of the car in front of you, you're fine. But there is a super fine line from right to left as to what's going to be a successful bump draft and what's going to get a car loose and turn it. And that's exactly what we saw with the 96 as he got into the back of the 98 and collected quite a few cars with him. That's going to also affect the 71 hard.
He definitely did not hit square there. He was actually moving up track when he caught him, and that's what turns the 98 down track.
That's one of the downfalls of running in the draft and being behind another car. You literally have to pedal the hell out of the throttle. You can't stay wide open behind these cars. If you're the leader, yes, you stay wide open 100% of the time. If you're not wide open, there's something wrong and you don't need to be leading. But all the cars behind you, it's a delicate balancing act of working the throttle, and sometimes you're slack throttle. A lot of times you're half, 75%, but you're never full throttle unless you're on the back straightaway, and even then we still see checkups. I mean, these cars aren't as bad as, say, the Gen 6 cars or the Xfinities or the trucks. The trucks will stall out, the Xfinities will stall out, and whatever lane ends up stalling out, you'll see a huge checkup, and a lot of times that's when you see a huge wreck, because the drivers in the lane that's stalling out, they want out of that, so they're going to obviously try and move to the other lane that's moving faster, and there's trying to move into occupied real estate, and we've seen it happen before, and it's always led to disaster. But it just looked like the 96 didn't let off of the throttle soon enough to where he could not make the contact with the 98, but that's unfortunately going to take the 98 out of contention, and he will not be able to pull off back-to-back wins as he was last week's winner at Daytona.
It does appear that we are going to go back green here with 1 lap to go.
Oh,
There's an
boy.
interesting development, though. The 81 car has some right front damage from
I
a
did
lap
notice
down
that.
car.
It looks like it's just behind his right front tire. Well, the good news is he's got his teammate behind him lining up for what's looking to be a green-white checker here at Talladega. So if there's anybody the 81 would want behind him, it would definitely be the 03. We see wave-bys taking place here. Oh, we see some heavy damage. Bit of a wedgie there on the back of the 54. His spoiler definitely does not look like the rest of them. Two laps left. This is going to be one hell of a finish. You see the Ford blink there, but seems like he's all right now. All right, so 81 and 03, DHI stable right there. 4 and 87. Let's see what the outside line's got for Dark Horse here. As Mike mentioned, the 81, your leader right now, does have a little bit of right front damage. Let's see if that affects him any. I highly doubt it, seeing how he's got Rodney behind him. Rodney's going to push the shit out of him on this restart, I guarantee it. It's also going to be interesting to see how the damage on the 54 plays out. That's right, with 2 laps to go, it is definitely balls to the wall. All right, so Jeff Bodine is going to drunkenly drive his Mustang down pit road, or down pit road. 1 lap, holy crap, maybe I had too many beers tonight. But come on, Jeff, get that damn car off the track. We want to race here. Pace car is off. Green flag is out, 2 laps left. Let's see what happens here. So actually, look at this. We got 3 DHI cars all on the inside. The 9 of Kenny Holderman, the 03 of Rodney Wofford, and the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. This is really going to get interesting now. I did not see the third Dark Horse entry there.
Yeah, and if they act for Dark Horse.
This is going to be what the 4 and the 87 can do, because he basically has 3 DHI stable cars running all on the line. Let's see what the 4 and the 87 can do as we come to the white flag here. One more time around. Does Mark Jorgensen Jr. have what it takes to win this one? We see side draft is in full effect here. The 4 is doing a good job pinching the 81 and the 3 down. The 3 is all over the back end of the 81. 9's kind of backed off of the 3.
Yeah, I don't think he can quite get there in the corner.
Oh, no, he gets there in the corner. It's just that this is going to be probably another really tight finish here. I know last week we saw the 98 and the 81 side-by-side sliding across the line, but it looks like your winner tonight will be the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Oh, wreck at the finish. Oh, we got death all over the place, but your winner right there, the 81, Mark Jorgensen Jr.
It looks like the 4 flipped over the line in 3rd place.
That's Clint Boyer style right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, even though I just want to see it. That was absolutely amazing. Let's see as they come out of the corner here. We're watching the 4 car. He gets bumped by the 03 a little bit, and then we see, oh, the 9 comes up, nails the 87. The 9 goes for one hell of a ride. He finished upside down. The 4 is just, oh, wow, look at that. It was the 9 car.
Across the line, plowed sideways.
That's one way to finish it right there, folks.
I hope Dwayne paid the life flight bill.
Yeah, this shit's gonna get expensive. All right, so that's gonna make it. Unless IRTVO is wrong, it's still showing me Justin Levine being scored in 3rd. Which, while we let that get sorted out here, we will do a quick little commercial break here. All right, we are back, and we see celebrations are underway as the 81's burning it down. There's going to be an expensive landscaping bill there. They are not going to be happy about how much grass is getting tore up right there. We saw last week he was just edged out of a win because of contact made in the race. So donuts galore here for the 81.
Say that again, Art. Oh, all right then. We'll start with our 3rd place finisher then. He should have some interesting stuff to say there as he came across the line side 2. Hey Justin, this is Alan up in the booth. Looks like you brought it home 3rd, buddy. How you feeling?
Hey guys, good honestly. I didn't think I was gonna come across the line in 3rd. Thank you. Yeah, when I saw Dark Horse line up over there on the bottom, me and Ray didn't have a chance.
We knew that was definitely going to be a factor, and we also noticed too that the 81 had some right side damage, but we knew with Rodney and Kenny behind, it was going to be pretty hard, but there was help from behind. You had Raymond Rittenhauer helping. I saw you guys working together pretty much throughout the entire race. You guys did a great job working through the draft. It's just like I said, it's a shame to see that for 2 weeks in a row we saw a wreck coming to the line, but I'd still take a podium out of it.
Yeah, of course. It's actually my first top 3.
Oh,
pretty happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is there anybody special that you'd like to thank?
I want to thank Underground Racing, all my teammates. I want to thank Dwayne for the race and everything, the league, and I want to thank you guys. You guys do an awesome job. I can't wait to rewatch the whole broadcast.
All right, buddy. Well, once again, congratulations on your third place finish, and hopefully we can see you back next week at Daytona and maybe in Victory Lane.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
That was your third place finisher, Justin Levine. We will have a surrogate voice for our second place finisher, Rodney Wofford. He cannot talk tonight, so we will have Derek Walker doing.
No, don't get Derek. Get Cash Me Out there.
Oh, you want the winner?
Yeah, don't get Derek. Derek just got through interviewing on another race, so he ain't got nothing to say.
10-4, we'll bring our winner in here, and I'll get to talk to good old Junior here. Cash me outside, how about that?
How about that?
You brought it home, baby!
Boy, I kicked their ass tonight, didn't I?
Oh, at first I thought you fucked yourself over when you hit the wall there.
Oh, yeah, just, early race little troubles. Kind of making that outside lane, that third lane up against the wall, making it work early on in the race, which I was surprised it come in so quick, but I don't know, it looked like the 00. I don't know if he was trying to jump up in front of me to get the push around to the lead or what, but just kind of a mistimed thing. We got together. It's no biggie. Obviously, you don't want to use a reset.
I wanted to wreck your ass. That's what I wanted to do.
We didn't do a good job because I still come back. I kicked ass. I want some damn money. I'm gonna go buy me a new pair of shoes. But anyways, we got together. I think I ended up having to use that reset on like lap 12, I think. So the rest of the race, I wasn't trying to save the car by no means. I mean, I was going to do whatever it took to get back to the front, lead the race, win the damn thing, do whatever. But yeah, man, it was a good race. Kind of had some cautions, which is typical sometimes, doing these plate tracks. But man, I think my little biggest issue, man, under pace laps, getting hit by a lap car in the right front fender. I don't know what was up with that. I might have to talk to that guy, explain to him how we do pace laps around here. But man, it's awesome, man. I won.
Finally, it's long been said that we put a curse on you guys. You were 0 for 3, but now we can switch that shit out, and you've actually got a win now. So obviously nothing feels better than a win. But when we saw the final restart take place and 3 DHI stable cars all on the inside, we knew it was going to be what was going to happen. We didn't expect to see the gigantic wreck and actually Kenny Clint Boyd across the finish line, but still managed to get I do believe a decent position out of that one. But I don't know, it was a cluster behind. It almost looked like Austin Dillon's wreck when he went into the fence at Daytona.
Yeah, it just would have been cool, if he would have been able to come across the line in third. It would have been cool to sweep the podium with the DHI cars. But it would have been cool to have Derek up there as well. He was up there throughout the race, but just kind of had some super speedway bad luck, so to speak, and his night kind of ended early. So it was just us 3 DHI guys, me, Kenny, and Rodney remaining to try to pull off the win. It doesn't matter who in that race team wins. We all try to get one of our teammates to win. But yeah, that last restart, I just had the right 2 people behind me. Like I said, it would have been nice to had Derek lined up 4th car on the bottom, but yeah, man, I mean, Rodney and Kenny, they was shoving the shit out of me, man. Like I said, man, I wouldn't want to have anybody else back there pushing when it was in a situation like that with 2 laps to go.
We definitely saw the 4 and the 87. They were definitely putting the pressure on the last lap coming out of turns 1 and 2, side drafting really, really hard, definitely forcing you
Oh,
guys down to the bottom. But
Ray
that was
long.
great racing.
Yeah, man. I tell guys, I love racing Daytona and Talladega. They're my two favorite tracks. I like the racing that it produces. I like the pinching. I like the blocking. I mean, I like all that shit. But my biggest thing is, I like being pinched. I like when guys race me super, super hard. But in turn, I want to be able to race them same guys back the same way. Real hard, aggressive, clean. My only issues, when in other races, when somebody's pinching me on the outside, but yet whenever I try to go return the favor, I mean they're shoving me up the track. I mean that's kind of the only slight little issue I might have with this style of racing that we do. But yeah, man, I mean the 4-car Justin, I thought he was doing badass, man. I mean he was working with me there for a while, trying like hell, with about 20 some odd laps to go to show me to the lead, and kind of had some cars on the bottom kind of sliding up top deal. And as a matter of fact, as Dwayne was telling me in my ear, to watch the cars on the bottom, Justin was sending me a little private message. So I mean, yeah, man. I mean, I thought Justin was holding a damn good line. So I felt like, with the 2 lap to go sprint, that I know I was going to have to hold the yellow. I know he was going to be out there basically rubbing my damn decal off my right side door. And like I said, man, I love that shit, man. I mean, that is so fun to me, racing hard and close, and one of those where you can't mess up. You can't have any errors when you're on that bottom line whenever you're getting raced hard like that.
You do realize that you just permanently cemented yourself as Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, man. Fuck, Dwayne, let's get another room going, man. Let's do this shit again.
Why? So you can wreck me again?
Shots fired.
Hold on now, but I'm gonna send you the replay from my driver's seat.
If you would have been looking out that window, you wouldn't have hit me.
Oh man, it's always entertaining up here in the post race show. There's a big ass bottle of Jack Daniels over there.
Right smack over me.
What?
Watch the penalty report that comes out tomorrow. You ran right the smack the fuck over me, so you can catch me outside.
How about that?
How about that?
Well,
That's right.
needless to say, you still rip off the win. I gotta do the obligatory thing. Who the hell are you gonna thank tonight?
Oh, obviously the same guys every Friday night. Man Cave Media for doing the broadcast. Art, you, Alan. I mean, I think y'all do a pretty damn good job up there in the booth. Dwayne for, I've never been in a situation with these guys that put on these leagues, man, and the amounts of money that comes out of their pocket for others, iRacing members to come out and enjoy, a couple hours on a Friday night, man. I mean, so huge shout out to Dwayne for doing that. I mean, for putting this thing together to where we can come out and do something that we really, really like to do, with a group of guys that we like to race with. And other than that, man, fucking DHI, man. I mean, those guys are fucking awesome, man. Fast, know what the hell's going on. I mean, raise hell, praise Dale, man. And obviously Chris Bassini for this badass Bass Pro Shops paint, man. It looked fucking killer.
All right, well, you've already got one win down now. We move on to Daytona, which this time it will not be the bumpiest shit track. So hopefully you can rip off back-to-back wins, and I stop jinxing you guys now that you got a win.
I was about to say, what'd you say that I'm like, 1-4 right now?
Well, you guys were going to be 0-3, but now that's been nullified seeing how you won.
Oh, I got you. So, yeah, I won't win for the next couple weeks.
Well, if you average that out.
I can help it. I'll put your ass in the wall. Payback.
Hey, but I tell you what, though, man, I'm going to give her hell, I promise you.
That's why I love broadcasting this league. It's so amazing to have such a diverse group of talented people racing. Obviously, Dwayne for putting it on. Like Mark said, there is so much money that is tied up into these leagues to run it. People don't really, I don't even think they could physically understand how much is literally dumped into this to make this happen.
It
I'll
gets
tell
to a
you,
ridiculous amount.
The last 3 months of 2016, it was $1,800.
And that's a shit ton of money just for people to come out and run races. But when you enjoy the passion as much as we do, it's in the end it's worth it. I mean, we get to see some of the best racing. We get 3 wide, 4 wide, hell, fucking 5 wide racing. Yeah, there's the wrecks. Yeah, there's the stupid shit that shouldn't happen, like people not locking down brakes. But 2 weeks in a row now, we've seen finishes like last week. You were sideways as shit when Jeff won at Daytona, and now this week you came out squeaky clean, and they wrecked, and all hell broke loose behind. So it's definitely panning out to play out kind of like NASCAR does at plate tracks. But once again, yeah, that amount of money just for a season of racing, that's a shit ton of money. You could go buy a used car off of Craigslist for that amount of money.
Yeah, you could now. We have actually a sponsor that would be coming on next week for this series. And that's what it goes. You started out just like, a business at homework. You started out and you start as you build it, and you bring in people. We use y'all when I go to these sponsors because your YouTube channel has so many subscribers. So we use that to help. And then, we've been lucky this year. We have both divisions now sponsored.
Yep, you've got the acrylic truck series.
In both, in both we have. And then tomorrow night, I have a sponsor coming in before our race tomorrow night that's going to talk to me before we even get the server set up about adding more money into the prize pool. So
that's awesome because the trucks are covered by acrylic art, and the pole award is from Squatty Potty. And I do believe it's what Automotive Solutions will be the sponsor for K&N.
Yeah, Automotive Solutions will come on starting next Friday as a K&N sponsor, and then we have Roger Bluff donated $50 in sponsorship for us to give the glory to God each race. So when you're up in the booth, you just get a glory to God is all they wanted in their sponsorship. So.
And we'll be happy to oblige to that because, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's $5 or if it's $500. Any bit that helps tremendously because, like you said, every penny to put this league on comes directly out of your pocket to pay people like us to put on the broadcast, for to go to iRacing to put up the servers for the race rooms, the website, everything. It all takes money, and I know everybody just views this as just a form of entertainment, but they need to realize it's exactly how passionate this group of people are because it does take a ton of money to run a league.
Yep, it does. And it takes a ton of money to keep Alan up this late at night.
Yeah, it does, and he wasn't even here for the first half of the race.
He was probably sleeping.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had a situation, so.
He had the squirts. But either way.
Yeah, at his age, you can't trust a fart, so.
Well, see, he does have a self-composting toilet.
Hell no.
And I will not explain what a self-composting toilet is either because, yeah, his landlord is a hippie. But needless to say. Go ahead, Alan. Explain it.
Anyhow, there, Dwayne, finally got a chance to get over there and really take a good look at you guys' website. You've done a really nice job with that, and if you want to call out that website for us here or post it over in chat so we get a few more people to come take a look.
It is in the description.
Cyberracing.club.
Yeah, anybody who watches the video, it is in the description as well as the iRacing League page. So, I still have to do the gridding order. Dwayne, any final words before we let you free?
Nope. Let Alan go to sleep. And once again, guys, you did a good job.
Oh, thank you, sir. And we'll see you next Friday.
Although Jorgensen sucks. I can't believe he can't let off and bump draft. Instead, he puts me in the fucking wall, dickhead.
We kind of wondered what happened because we saw both of y'all up there. I saw him in it first, and then I saw you. I was like, oh, that ain't good.
All right, man. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, let's see. We will move into the final results here. So, obviously, your winner tonight was the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr., who we affectionately refer to as Dale Earnhardt Jr., because he is a mixture of Dale Earnhardt and Boomhauer when he talks, so it's just appropriate. So, coming home second, fellow Dark Horse teammate Rodney Wofford. Third place is going to be Justin Levine. Chris Akers in the 54 is going to roll home fourth place. Fifth place, we have the 1 of R.D. Peterson Jr. Thomas Labar in the 5 is going to finish sixth. Kenny Holderman is going to finish seventh. He actually crossed the line on his roof, so still managed to pull off a top 10, Clint Boyer style. The 96 of Jason Rodebush, who was involved in the first caution, is going to rally back for an 8th place finish. Jeremy Funk in the 97 is going to bring it home 9th, and Raymond Rittenhauer, who is also involved in that incident at the very end of the race, will round out your top 10. Paul Crummery in the 8, who was involved with Rodebush in the first incident, will come home 11th. David Anderson in the 43, which I'm pretty sure a lot of these names here were involved in the last wreck, but 12th place will go to the 43 of David Anderson. 13th goes to the 30 of Sawyerot. Talon Crandall in the 78 makes a good comeback after him and his brother were both involved in the same incident. He's going to come home 14th. Gary Champion is your 15th place finisher. Gregory Thompson in the 08 16th. Jason Kinzer in the 13 machine is going to come home 17th. James Peterson 18th. Derek Walker, who, as Mark said, had a off night tonight, so it's just not his race. He's going to bring it home 19th. Stephen Masurley in the 36 is going to round out your top 20. 21st goes to the 7 of Gary Weaver. Jeff Figlin, who we saw in at least 2 of the instances, is going to roll home 22nd. 71 of Roger Buff, 23rd. The 3 of Tyler Crandall is going to be 24th. David Lanza, 25th. Matthew Quick, who was taken out early on in the race, 27th. And Dwayne Cooper is going to round out the field here. And we are joined by our in-race reporter, Gary. Yep, you called it on the nose. We knew that it was going to be, once I saw who the hell is behind you, I knew pretty much what to expect.
Yeah, I moved high out of turn 2, and I was actually expecting somebody to actually have a run. They did, and then they passed me on the outside, so that didn't really end up well. Then coming to the last lap, check that, coming out of turn 4 to the checkered, I was bump drafting the 08 of, what was it, Gregory Thompson. And I got, there's always that one spot. I already knew that something was going to happen. That one spot on the front bumper, I knew it was there on his core panel. So Jason Kinzer was literally right next to me. I go into Jason just a little bit. I was worried that I would wreck him, and I didn't want to do that. I moved to go back high, and then I believe it was either the 53 or the 58 caught my right rear, and yeah, but I managed to cross the start-finish line backwards somehow without an engine. So that was interesting, but hey, I actually got some laps led, so that was really fun.
Definitely a good thing to see on the books, though, laps led, even though you did roll home towards the back of the field. But nonetheless, it's still a finish, but not the way you intended it to go, and definitely not what we wanted to see. We definitely wanted to see at least the top 10, but I know it's first season racing with these guys, so there's still a little bit of a learning curve, especially with this being a super speedway league. There's going to be, as we all know, hell, nobody has a damn friend when it comes to plate track racing.
Nope, not at all, but hopefully at Daytona I might actually be able to finish in the top 10, so that would be interesting. Heck, maybe even top 5, or might as well just do what I did this race, and except I wouldn't make the stupid mistake of moving to the high side again, especially if I have that bottom line.
Oh, it's definitely one of the natures of the beast with plate track racing. You definitely have to stay where the speed is, which means even if you're more comfortable running the lower line, you have to go out there and run the high line or run the middle groove, and if they take it 3 wide, you just have to stick with whoever's the fastest and keep the momentum going. So Talladega is definitely a much easier place to do it versus Daytona, because I know the cars get thrown into the corners of Daytona versus here you could just lazily slope into the the banking, the transitions aren't as severe as they are at Daytona. So we know the biggest issue moving into next week is going to be watching out for people with their left sides on the apron, because we've seen in the past, all it takes is to get one tire down on the apron, and the ass end of that car will just slide straight around and take out the entire field.
Yeah, in fact, when I was dropping back, I think we were 4 wide there for a second, so that was, that almost didn't end well. I think we were 4 wide. I didn't, never got a chance to look back at it, and now that I think about it, I should have looked back at that. But yeah, the difference between Daytona and Talladega is the most obvious thing. Talladega is a lot wider, so Daytona's gonna be really, really interesting to race at. Plus, I could actually, attempt to get a top 10 there, because Daytona 07, that's, yeah.
Well, let's quote the words of Dale Jr. It was shit. I mean,
That's it.
I hate running that track only because it's so damn bumpy. I mean, when I started iRacing, that's unfortunately the track that we had to run. There was no 2011. It was the old 07 Daytona that we ran, and it was the old trucks, the old Impala B-Class car, everything. I mean, everybody who's come on iRacing post 2010, I believe, they got it lucky. They complain about being in rookie street stocks and all this stuff. Street stocks were a D-class race when I started. I had to work my way out of rookie Legends cars, which was a
Ooh.
pain in the ass. It's come a long way since then. They've changed their license progression 180 degrees since I've been around. But, I mean, yeah, I would have loved to started in the street stocks as a rookie, because that would have been a hell of a lot easier to get out of rookie class versus running the short tracks like Sobo, Lanier, USA, and having to do it in a car that's half the size of a Kia Soul with a 600cc motorcycle engine in it, that 9 times out of 10 you were breakdancing because you were either getting run over or you catch the wall and somebody literally just scoops you.
Yeah, the one thing that I really hated about Rookie, and I'm glad I got out of it, that's why I really, really need and want to maintain my Class A, is the fact that it took me 1 year and 8 days to get out of Rookie ever since I joined iRacing, so I don't want to go through that again. And hopefully I could actually get my Class A license for, well, 1 year and longer than 8 days. But yeah, Daytona next week is, it's going to be interesting, because I finished in 12th the last time we raced there, so hopefully I can probably get either 11th or a top 10.
Well, being the smoother track, I think we'll see a lot more aggressive driving, especially since it's not the old bumpy surface. But nonetheless, I believe we started day, so it might be a night race, so that could be grip for days, but who knows. I don't think I've seen too many, if any, night races that we've run. I think they've all been daytime.
No, they've all been daytime. All in the morning for some reason instead of afternoon. It would be nice to at least have one afternoon race. It's kind of like, it's just really offsetting for me, to race in the mornings, well, on iRacing, when, well, iRacing time, I should say, just in case. But because usually iRacing's default time is usually afternoon, so it's just basically like, 12 o'clock noon.
And seeing how this is, let's see, in Allen terms, it would be the 2 of 4.
2 of 4? You mean next? No, 2 of 4 is tomorrow.
No, it's already 2 of 4 here.
Oh. Oh, time, like actual clock.
Actual,
right.
yeah. But looking at the upcoming races, this Sunday, the DieHard Racing League is off for the Super Bowl, so not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, we will return for 200 laps of door slamming action at Dover International Speedway. The Monster Mile, yes, it's going to be absolute chaos. 200 laps on a concrete track with a probably 30-car field. There's a good reason why Miles the Monster is holding a race car and about to smash the shit out of it in his hand. But we will be back next Friday, as always, to cover the Cyber Racing Association K&N West Series. Gary, Alan, Mike, any final words before I throw us into our last commercial?
Well, I don't think Alan or Mike are even here, actually. But, oh
I'm
well.
here.
Oh.
Yeah, we're still here.
Oh, they're just listening then.
No, actually, unfortunate that I missed half the race here. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the front half of it, but I'm just really not having a good night. But from what I saw of the race, it was a little bit of over aggressive driving from a few racers there, but all in all, it looked like it was a fairly decent race.
I'm going to let Mike go, and then I'll say mine.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, then. I guess I'll say mine. When I was up front, I'll admit I was actually a little bit nervous. I tried to keep my arms steady, and I did, but, that's usually like the one thing. That's my one problem whenever I'm racing up in front at a plate track is I can never keep my arms still. So I usually, attempt to calm myself down and attempt to drive smoothly so I don't completely, murder the guy behind me or myself or the entire field. Excuse me, or a combination of both.
That shit happens.
Yep.
All right, so for Alan Schoen, Gary Weaver, Mike Major, I'm Art Peck. This has been DieHard Live TV, broadcasting the Cyber Racing Association. We will see you guys next Friday at Daytona.